My project was titled The Well of Being, and it is exploring the heart, mind, and body. And I did this project along with, I represent the health science discipline, and I did this along with an instructor representing philosophy and one representing psychology. So what we were really hoping to get at, to bring all of our disciplines into this project in support of Sustainable Development Goal 3, good health and well-being, was we wanted our students to explore wellness through the lens of emotional well-being, mental well-being, and physical well-being. So touching on that heart, mind, and body. So it was a 3-part project. In the first part, the students did 3 different personal health challenges, one in each of those different areas of wellness, and it gave them an opportunity to spend roughly a week exploring that area of wellness deeply. Then after that, they worked on creating their own wellness project and wellness challenge that they presented to their personal community, providing them with a call to action and a challenge based off of something that they were kind of inspired to do by doing this first section. And then in the end, they completed a final reflection. So I have Sierra on the call with me today. She did a fantastic job on her project. So I'm going to let her walk you through some information regarding what she did for one of the challenges in the beginning, and then also her individual wellness projects. So I will give the floor to Sierra.
Hi. So I chose the values challenge as a part of the emotional wellness portion of it, and it was very interesting. I found myself diving a lot deeper than I usually would for school projects, but I found a lot of connections to myself in it. So basically you had to take a little quiz, and it would tell you your 3 top values, like personal values. And mine that I got were leadership, kindness, and perspective. And at first I was kind of like hesitant about it because like there's a lot of quizzes out there that don't really hold a lot of merit to them. But once I started doing the reading behind it, like it totally clicked. It was totally me. So for the perspective aspect, it was more of like the introverted extrovert kind of thing. So like I watch and I listen a lot. And so when people come to me, I have perspective on things that others might not have because they're too in the moment and not observing as much as I would typically. For the kindness, I've always been a very giving person. And in my little reflection, I wrote how like kindness is kind of like a double-edged sword. I'm so giving to others, and I try to go above and beyond to be kind to others that I kind of like lack it myself, like towards myself. And then for leadership, I'm always on top of things, and I think that also has to do with my kindness and perspective because I just want to get stuff done, and I want to be acknowledged for it, and like it's a big thing. I dove into like some of my home life with it and how like certain things from my childhood could have affected it, and yeah. So the other part of it after writing that little reflection was to do a visual, and I am a very artistic person, but I only had my computer on me, so I made that little thing. So let me just kind of explain it a little bit. So obviously I'm in the center, and then I have my 3 values coming off of me, but I also wanted to show that it's not just those 3 values by themselves, they're all interconnected. So I have like those little vines coming around. And you can see how perspective is a little bit more tightly wound. I feel like that's my most negative positive value because it's the one that gives me the most like, I don't want to say negative feedback, but it definitely opens my eyes a lot more. There is no ignorance is bliss with it because like it's something that's very big to me is perspective. And so it kind of is a little bit more constricting. Kindness is a little bit more flowy, but it does have a little bit of that kind of veiny look to it too. And then leadership is just kind of all over the place because sometimes I want to lead and sometimes I don't. So.
Yeah, and so then the goal was during the week when you would face stressors, you were to either look at this or think back on those values and right, and in the end, you filled out a chart and wrote some reflections. Did you feel like reflecting on these values over the course of the week you were working on this challenge help you to reframe and think about stressful stuff in a different way?
Yeah, I think that knowing why I'm stressed and being able to link it back to this helped me really like find more coping mechanisms for it. Like, I'm feeling this way because I typically feel this way because of this. And yeah, it just kind of helped piece everything together a little bit nicer.
Fantastic. And then our last slide here, this is the visual that you put together for your Sharing Wellness project. So can you just tell us a little bit about what you designed here and what you were kind of trying to get at with the people you shared this with?
Yes. So I did Out with Nature, which is kind of like the Get Outside Wellness Challenge that I did. I think I did it the second challenge. And I just wanted people to get outside. I did some research and it showed the really good benefits of being outside with the green space and everything. And I just wanted to share that with other people because I noticed that for myself, I do have a lot of those benefits when I get outside. Like, I don't even have to be thinking about getting outside, and I'll go outside and it's just like a weight off my shoulders kind of thing. So I wanted people to make a bucket list of places that they haven't been out with nature around them. Told them to keep it realistic. You're not going to drive 5 miles for this park that has a special tree in it kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Like, just like, we have the river right next to us. So go to the river for a day, make it fun, bring a picnic. Don't just sit out there like, oh, I have to be out in nature. Make it fun, make it memorable, bring friends, get other people involved, and really see how you feel. Like, were you stressed before? How are you feeling afterwards? Like, how is this affecting you? And then I also found some research on how different types of nature areas affect different people differently. So for me personally, I love being around water. I feel like it just calms me a whole lot more than if I were to go to a really grassy park or like a field or something like that. But other people may find like the desert really calming and help them more. But I just find water in general to be a lot nicer to me. So I have my challenge on the left side of that little file. And then on the right side, I have all of the benefits. Well, not all of them. There would be way too many to list there, but like the more important ones on the right side. The image in the center, I just kind of pieced together. And looking back at it now, I probably would have gone a little bit more in depth, maybe added some like 3D aspects to it or something like that, make it look a little bit cooler. But I just wanted to show how like the different components of nature that you might see, you can feel like within your body, like connecting to it. Like with water, I feel it in my stomach, and I'm a very visual person, so like it just made sense to me to put like the puddle right there and the balanced rocks like there. It almost reminded me of the chakras almost. Mm-hmm. And like the meditative pose and everything. Yeah. I have my sources and
awesome. Yeah, this was great. And how did it feel getting to share this with somebody else?
It was really nice. The other person that I shared it with my aunt who owns a gym, and I was hoping that she would send it out to some of her clients, but she couldn't fit it into like her like regimen or whatever. So mm-hmm. It was just her who got it, and she is very busy, so she wasn't actually able to do it, but mm-hmm. I sent it to a couple of my other friends who like are very against nature, like they'd rather stay inside, and they actually agreed to do it with me over the summer, so it's going to be really fun.
That's great. That's great. Well, thank you for sharing your project.